First concocted around the turn of the century, the early 20th century that is, the Clover Club cocktail was named for the elite Philadelphia men's group called, you guessed it, the Clover Club. Originally back in January of 1880, a social organization called the Thursday Club met for an informal dinner at any hotel or restaurant that the 15 members might select once a month on a Thursday at 5 p.m. The Thursday Club. That's original. After a couple of years, the Thursday Club broke up because of conflicting ideas, disagreements between group members. Thursdays just aren't working out for me. But a few of the members still got together to keep the fellowship going and decided to change the name of their social group to the Clover Club. They thought the name reflected the comfortable lifestyle that they all led. A symbol of good luck. To live in clover, you see. That's because the old boys club was made up of attorneys, some literary sorts, well, newspaper men, bankers, and business professionals. Maybe it should have been called the Stuffed Shirt Club. Even President Grover Cleveland was an honorary member. All these old farts sitting around in the oak-paneled lounge sipping on their frothy-head Clover Club cocktails? A sight to behold, I'm sure. Over the years, the club moved around between different locations before they found a permanent home in the Hotel Bellevue. Then close to 20 years later, they moved to the grandiose Bellevue Stratford Hotel on South Broad Street. This place was huge. It was the largest hotel Philadelphia had ever seen, with 1,090 rooms. It was owned and operated by George Charles Bolt, who catered almost exclusively to the VIP tycoons of the day. Did you know the first Clover Club cocktail recipe was published in the New York Press in 1901? It called for gin, lemon juice, sugar, raspberry syrup, and an egg white. People went nuts over this thing. Now, you know, it's unknown exactly when and by whom the drink was originally made, but by 1910 the drink began to appear outside of Philly. One thought is that George Bolt possibly brought the cocktail with him when he moved to New York to become the president and director of the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. This slightly sweet, sour cocktail gained tremendous popularity before the First World War, which was right around the time when the Clover Club Society dissolved. Then the cocktail, well, it kind of fell out of fashion after Prohibition ended. By 1934, this is funny actually, by 1934 Esquire magazine called the Clover Club a drink for pansies. And listed it as one of the worst beverages of the previous decade. Well, 74 years later, the magazine posted a recipe for the drink describing it as unusual, tasty, strong, and not at all slimy. They sure have a way with words, don't they? Okay, let's make this not at all slimy pansy drink. No. Let's make this long-lost delight the Clover Club. You know, the Clover Club was actually a viewer request by Victor, and he's been bugging me for a little while to make this thing, so here it is, Victor. I hope you like it. It is actually a lovely, lovely cocktail. Now, you know, the neat thing about the Clover Club is that it uses raspberry syrup, and a lot of times you'll find them made with grenadine, and it just is not the same. It really isn't. You got to use raspberry syrup. Sometimes, too, you'll find Chambord being used because, well, it's a raspberry liqueur. And if you're lazy, I guess you use that. Ooh, I also picked up this beauty here, black raspberry gin. Gonna try that real soon. Well, actually, I already have tried it, haven't I? It's actually pretty tasty. So, you know, you don't really want to use Chambord. You don't really want to use the black raspberry gin. You want to make my homemade raspberry syrup. And you can do that by checking out the video. It is very, very tasty. Okay, let's get on this thing. 1.5 ounces of a dry gin, okay? I'm just using Beefeater London today. 1.5 ounces. And the raspberry syrup. 1/2 ounce. Ooh, yeah, look at that color. Sweet. Lemon, fresh lemon. And we want 1/2 ounce. That's about right there. Dry vermouth. And like I said, you know, if you're gonna have vermouth sitting around, you wanna keep it in the fridge. Keep it fresh. Ideally, use it up as soon as you get it. 1/2 ounce. And I think that's gonna just pull everything together, that vermouth. And it was like Harry McKellen, he used sweet vermouth as well. And now comes the fun part, the egg. We just want the white. Sweet. And I'm not going to use the whole egg, only 1/2 ounce. Beauty. Okay, so normally you would just dry shake this with the egg, but today I'm going to do a reverse dry shake. And what we want to do, we've got everything in our shaker here without the egg. Add some ice. And shake it. Shake it lucky, like a Clover Club. Give it a good shake. The reverse dry shake creates this really amazing froth. The size of the bubbles are much larger than those of a dry shaken cocktail. The head on the drink ends up much larger, making it more of a striking presentation. That's why I like it. It does result in a notable textural difference. It gives it that extra frothiness. Good 10 seconds or so. That looks pretty good. So we're just going to double strain this right back into our shaker here. Look at that. Get rid of the ice. And add our 1/2 ounce of egg white. Oh yeah. And shake it. Shake it without ice. Another good 10 seconds. And this is going to give you an incredible frothy, frothy, frothy top. Oh yeah. Get rid of our chilled ice water in our wonderful little cocktail glass. And all you do is just strain it out into our chilled cocktail glass. Oh yeah. Look at the size of this froth. Don't you love it? Don't you just love it? How pretty is that? And we just garnish with a couple little berries. Why not? The Clover Club. Yeah, I should have had a beer, eh? I got about the same amount of foam. No, seriously, this looks delightful. Let's give it a go. Wow, wow, it's freaking good. The raspberry just pokes its head through the creaminess of the egg white, which you don't taste at all. Over the years, there have been a few variations on the Clover Club. Harry McKellen, when he worked at the Plaza Hotel in New York in the 1910s, swapped out the lemon juice for lime. He also added 2 teaspoons of both sweet and dry vermouth. He said it added a more complex flavor. Adding Applejack and swapping out the raspberry syrup for grenadine gives you the Clover Club's cousin, the Pink Lady. Float a sprig of mint in the drink and you have a clover leaf cocktail. Oh, that is good. Make a Clover Club cocktail. It's good. I'm not going to use the whole thing. I'm only going to use a half an ounce. Hell, I'm going to use the whole thing. It's all goopy. While we live in Clover. That was the Clover Club members' motto. You need to live in Clover too. Be a Cloverite. Hit the subscribe button, check some other videos out, and make this damn thing. It really is a delight.